My average distance for this year is about 12 kilometers. How do I track my distance? Now, I put up a post on LinkedIn recently saying my average distance for this year is about 12 kilometers. Some of you reached out to me and asked how I do that. So in this video, I'm going to talk about how you can ramp up your physical fitness journey. And may not be 12 kilometers, but a few kilometers to start off with. But before we start that, do subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon. So whenever I make a new video, you'll come to know about it. So the first principle, which is very important, is start early. So what I typically do is start 30 minutes before sunrise. So I leave around 6:30, come back by 8. That's how I do my distance. And it's very important to start early given the kind of weather we have where it is hot and humid in most parts of India. So start early, 30 minutes before sunrise is what you should typically look at. Also, I think it's important not to be over ambitious. If you don't do any activity, just start with a moderate target, 2 kilometers a day. Then you do some activity, start with 3, 4, 5. Do not get into running straight away. So start with slow walking, then as your body gets comfortable in a week or two, then start with brisk walking, then start a bit of jogging, and then finally go into running. So do not try 12 kilometers straight away. Do not try running straight away, but always start early. 6:30 to 8 is what I follow, and you should always leave before sunrise. The second thing is very critical again, get the right piece of equipment. And by equipment, I mean one is the running pair of shoes. All the clothes also you wear is also equipment because it's hot and humid outside. You don't want to dehydrate and sweat, so get the right piece of running gear. Shoes has been very tricky with me. I've tried many pairs of shoes over the past, and somehow I've got very expensive shoes also, and they have not lasted. So shoes for me last about 3 to 4 months. That's the number you need to know with. I'm not going to recommend a brand because I think choice of shoe is very personal, and you should look at what fits your leg in terms of running or walking or jogging. But do remember that a pair of shoes, if you're doing this every day, will not last for more than 4 months. And it's also important you get the right kind of equipment in terms of what you're wearing during this part. The third, it's very important to track your distance. How much are you doing every day? So how do I track my distance? You don't need a fancy smartwatch, to be honest. Just use your phone, use the apps in the phone. I typically use the health app on my phone. Similarly, Android will have its own Runtastic, Runometer kind of apps. Just use the phone app. You don't need to get a smartwatch. So, and also keep goals very steady. So do not start with 12 kilometers a day. If you're not doing any form of activity, start with 1 kilometer, then a couple of weeks later go to 2 kilometers, and then build up slowly. I think there is great value in sharing your stats with a group of friends, a group of like-minded friends. It brings in a sense of healthy competition. So do that. You can also share your stats on social media. It also helps you push a little harder when you keep tracking and sharing on social media. Step number 4, keep yourself entertained. It's very important. You'll be spending an hour by yourself in the morning in that hot, humid sun. So keep yourself entertained. People listen to music, so figure out what works for you. I typically listen to the news. I use the podcast app. I use the free podcasts that are available to me. So I typically listen to Economist or the Wall Street Journal. Sometimes I listen to the latest music. So figure out what works for yourself, but always keep yourself occupied when you're going for that walk or jog or run for an hour or hour and a half in the morning. Fifth, and probably the most important step, which I cannot emphasize enough, is eating. You have to eat right. What do I mean by eat right? One is, do not have a heavy dinner the previous day. Have a very light dinner, preferably before 7 o'clock. Sometimes it's difficult with the kind of jobs we lead, but please try and do that. When you have a light dinner and when you have it before 7 o'clock, your body will be in a better shape of fitness the next morning. If you have a very heavy dinner, you'll be drowsy in the morning. It's difficult for your body to cover that distance. Also, the most important, sleep on time. Sleep before midnight so that the body can get up by 6:30 and you can step out. Do not go to sleep at 2 a.m. trying to get up at 6 o'clock and going for the run. That typically doesn't work. So here are my steps in terms of how you can cover 12 kilometers a day. What else do you think is important? Drop your suggestions in the comments box. I'll try and respond to as many as I can. But before we close this video, do subscribe to the channel, click on the bell icon. Until next time, take care.